Thank you. Welcome back. So item 7.10. Chief.
Got it. There's quite a lot to go through in the CE report. I could talk for quite a while. I'm going to assume you've been through it and read it. Probably the two things I would like to highlight come later in the report, just as the amount of sickness that staff we currently have at the moment is really impacting. We've got some of the teams that are really thin on the ground. A lot of the teams are covering, and when we've got the delay in the long-term plan has compounded some of the pressure, particularly on the finance and the customer services team. So we are being very careful around that and around fatigue within the staff. It's one of the key things that worries me most. There are some really, really good highlights in there, particularly around the event centre, around the Charles Hook and Kara Awards, and around the upcoming events. I'm sure you've all got Daffodil Day booked in your diary. I don't know about you, Your Worship, but my daffodils are starting to come up, and I suspect they're about to get smashed with frost. Anyhow, that is looking forward. I'm conscious there's a lot to talk about and happy to take questions.
Yep, there is a lot in here. Open to the floor. Any questions?
Report as usual.
Yes, it shows how much is going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. Sparks Park is a really good example of, the comms team, the Parks and Reserves team, and governance working together to get a message out to the community that says, hey, look, we just want to do this to get our maintenance underway. So that worked particularly well, and I'd like to thank the councillors, the mayor and deputy mayor, and all the councillors that made it down to help get that message across.
There was great feedback from the community as well as to the shutting of the park. There was no negative feedback at all.
I've got one comment, sorry, for the event centre. The tiered seating, obviously it was a problem not being booked for some of the shows, obviously, and so there was a little bit of customer concern, shall I say, not dissatisfaction. Is there any way where we can get around that, Glenda, and for a show like that? I realise that the ticket sales will be less. Do these points need to be spelled out?
We get that information back to the producers that booked the venue. So with that particular event, it was a straight hire. They dictated what they wanted, how they wanted the seating to be. The two previous years that they've been here, the seating was flat floor seating, and we didn't have any complaints about it. So it was might have just been this particular event. What we are doing is we are trying to lock in all the people that want seating blocks and try and see if we can get them into a couple of months so we can have that people for a significant time. But again, that's dictated by when people want to come in. That particular week we were really busy. We wouldn't have been able to get that seating block up and down just for that event. But we have fed it back to them, and they've said that is something that they will consider next time they come here as well. So.
Thank you.
Councillor
I just had a comment on that as well. I saw on the Carterton District Facebook page people grumbling about it, and I just thought the event centre's responses were really great and really quick to everyone who had comments. So I think, well done on that, because it's when you're getting feedback like that, it's easy to go, okay, we'll just pretend we didn't see that one. I thought you guys sorted it every time.
It's very difficult for the event centre team to articulate that was somebody that booked the event centre.
The problem, yeah.
Something that we did as a council. People really don't care.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah, just a comment mainly about the Royal Reserves and the Gladstone Reserve being metalled. and then damaged, after. I know it's hard to police, and with locked chained gates and them breaking it, it's disappointing that people still do that. And it makes you wonder why we actually put the dollars into reserves and then they just get trashed. So I just want to make that comment. Thank you.
It is a small minority.
Yeah.
And likewise, not the same as reserves, but the recent amount of deliberate damage to road signs out on Chester Road, Mangatariri Road. There's no accounting for some people, and the responsiveness of staff and management to get on top of those projects is appreciated. The work on top of the damage is appreciated, but got better things to spend ratepayers' money on than repairing damage caused by vandalism. But this is Councillor Ailing.
A couple of other event centre ones. I wanted to say that's really awesome to see that economic impact data has been collected around people going out for dinner and stuff before shows. That's really helpful for us to know. And the other question I had was with regards to promotion of the event centre and the event centre Facebook page and the email list. Do we boost Facebook posts and do sponsored content and that kind of thing?
No.
Any rough idea of what the budget is? Do we boost regularly or just for specific shows?
Again, it varies. So if it's a strike hire, they will do their promotion and we'll just share on our Facebook page. If it's a joint venture, we will boost and invest into that. But then we are receiving profit from that as well. So it kind of balances out. We have our marketing budget. It's not significant, and we just try and keep it. Yeah, we are selective in what we are boosting versus what we are just doing for free.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lawrence.
Two things. One, both about things that aren't in your report, but just talking about damage. There hasn't been any, I haven't noticed any comments here or anywhere else about damage in the toilets lately. Has that gone away or?
No.
No, they ain't gone away.
Stop talking about it.
That we are dealing with on a weekly. But it's usually just around the broken blocks, a little bit of vandalism. We have had some tagging through town recently that you may have seen. Our parks team, that's not specifically CDC's job to fix that, but our parks team are quite proactive at going out and just making the town look tidy and sorted out. So it's ongoing. BAU.
The other question, Jeff, is just about our legal not issues, but the work with the jeweller and earthquake prone notices. And has there anything happened?
Yes, there has been. We've got a timeline from the court, and that timeline will see us. I think it's towards the end of the year when we end up in front of the court. Happy to bring that up to risk and assurance at the next meeting. I'll need to bring a public excluded paper up to risk and assurance, so perhaps I'll bring that update to risk and assurance in that meetings.
Because it's not a secret anymore. It was in one of the Times 8.
I think it's November. There is a court date scheduled, so there is a whole lot of preamble stuff that lawyers do before that. But I believe it's November, and just to reiterate that. The proposed changes in legislation only affect the buildings that have not yet reached an expiry date. All of Carterton's have passed an expiry date.
Mm.
Anything else?
Thank you, Worship. Johannes, I'm just wondering if you can pass on to Savish, just on my behalf. I just want to thank him for his continual working with Chris Hollis from Good Lives Wairarapa. And just, I think there's a really good partnership forming there, and as to collating information, they're wanting to arrange an organic collection, and they've already doing a small organic collection, but they're wanting to increase that with the funding that they received through waste the Waste Minimisation Fund, and Chris really wants to gather information and collate it all so that it provides council with information as to their best way forward with a future organics collection. So I just want to thank Steve for continuing to work with Chris because he's really appreciating it. So.
Thank you, and I'll pass them the.
Okay, there'll be nothing. The only comment I have, Glenda, is to thank you for the detail on the event centre, stats and usage and the pretty full report on events and what you're doing in there. Sympathise with you over the challenges of meeting everybody's expectations with some events, and particularly with respect to the Irish gig. But thank you for that report. Really good. So someone comment?
Sorry, I just got one more comment.
Before we're at the end.
And I don't know whether we have officially congratulated Clint.
There we go.
35 years of toil for Carlton District Council. You know, that's pretty cool. And Clint started off from the bottom and has worked his way up, and he's respected around town, and I certainly respect him and get some really good feedback on things that he is achieving around town. So I'd just like to make sure that's noted, and council, congratulations. Thank you.
Maybe a vote of thanks to him for his service. Seconded by the Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Against? Any abstentions? Motion's carried. Right, thank you, Councillor Alien. Last.
What I was going to say.
What you were going to talk. Sorry.
No worries.
Been a really nice. Okay, so someone to move, we receive the report, please. Councillor Cherry Campbell, seconded by Councillor Della. All in favour? Against? Any abstentions? The motion is passed with thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank.
Service requests and complaints, 7.1.
Very good. So, a standard report that we've started bringing up to council, which is around the amount of work that we are asked to take on behalf of the community. Service requests is the former part of the report, and later on we get complaints. You can see reducing it.
This means everyone's hiding inside in winter.
Well,
We're doing a good job.
I think particularly at a time now where we have not adopted our long-term plan, a lot of pressure falls on the comms team in order to communicate with the public about what is happening. Because if we don't do that, then we do end up with a whole lot of service requests and a whole lot of complaints from the community. So the fact that we've got relatively low numbers at the moment it does suggest that my comms team are doing a fantastic, sterling job, and Marcus was doing it mostly for the month on his own before Sarah joined us. So thanks to the team.
Yeah.
I see no complaints on fires.
I'm not sure if we've picked up the July ones. I think this just might go.
Oh, yours is still to come, as worship.
Have you made a complaint?
I left fire.
Oh, you've caused a complaint.
No, I would never complain about me. Someone else might, yeah. Leave that mattress.
It was a
So-
straw one.
I guess just more broadly, Chief, I know that there's a question around customer surveys and the fact that we've decided not to do that. But it seems to me that on a day-to-day basis, we're receiving customer feedback in various forms, this being one.
Mhm.
Is there a relevancy in here that would make us compliant with people's expectations around customer satisfaction?
Mhm.
There are deductions and conclusions we can draw from the level of complaints, high or low, that might feed a conversation around customer satisfaction.
It's a good question. It's a very good question. We might end up, I think you'd look at trend, not necessarily the actual number, is the trend going up or is the trend going down, I think would be a very good indication of satisfaction.
And are they spikes that are related to incidents or activities and in particular parts of the cycle, training or cycle? I guess, I'm conscious. I think council did make the right decision. But of course, there is always going to be that challenge of what are you doing to ensure that you are measuring customer satisfaction. Seems to me that in this report and the next one following, there's clear evidence.
It's just being able to satisfy audit.
Yeah, it's the test. Does it meet a test? Does the quality of that evidence satisfy a test? And could it be put in together in a report that reflects an overarching analysis?
If there's a way to capture the bouquets, because this captures the dissatisfaction, if there was a way of capturing the satisfaction to give it that and record the trends, I agree.
Well, the converse is true. The fact that the dissatisfaction levels are low indicates that the satisfaction levels are high.
Yep.
The fact that there is little engagement indicates that people are pretty clearly happy with the direction. And if you couple that alongside of customer feedback at the counter, taking out the extremes of there being some behaviours which are not recordable or acceptable, I just think there's a lot of evidence there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Thank you. Someone to move that we receive the report, please. Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Gallen. All in favour?
Aye.
Against? Any abstentions? Motion is carried. 712.
So the Blimey report, the standard report, just on requests we've had, and where we can, we show the New Zealand Taxpayers Union, but those private requests we can't show. But
Any questions? Any comment?
It's got a comment. I totaled the number of requests over the last 3 years, and once again the trend is going down. We're only sitting at 31 this year. Last at 23 was 51 for the same period, and 42 the year before for the same period. So 2024 looks like we are trending down, which once again you could say something about customer satisfaction over that.
$130 an hour will probably explain that.
Yeah.
after the first hour. So most of the, in fact, most of the requests are answered within the first hour.
The other question I've got on the Taxpayers Union, the Gorma request, we obviously responded to the request. What they had down as their figures, were they correct or?
We needed to clarify a couple of areas. Casual staff was one of them. So there was the request included all staff, and we responded with all staff, including casual staff who may work 1 or 2 hours here at the event centre. So there were a couple of areas that I think we needed to clarify. Was there anything else that we did on top of that? No, mostly that.
Okay. Someone care to move? Councillor Cherry Campbell, seconded by Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Against? Any abstentions? Motion is carried, and we don't have any public expression.
Actually, no, those minutes I'm putting to the next meeting, they weren't put in the agenda with your appointment. So they'll come to the next meeting for.
Okay.
There is no item. There is no item 8. That was going to be. You took the words right out of my mouth. So, closing Karakia, someone please, who would care.
I can do one.
On the wall.
No, I'm going to do a different one.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Just that I can. And it's Wednesday. Kia tau, kia tātou katoa, te ata whai o kua ariki a ihu karaiti. Me te araha o te atua, me te whiwhina tahitanga, ke te wairua tapu, aki. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. And just conclude, Jeff, so thanks.
Thank you, council.
Team, thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Robin.
Right.